Good day to you. I am Daniel Wahome and welcome to the Living Legends. In today's edition, we speak to a six-time Olympian. He was a player in 4, a coach in 1, and a judge in his 6th outing. Our guest also played hockey at the 1971 Hockey World Cup and captained Kenya to 4th after they lost 2-1 after extra time to India. 167 times he played for Kenya in his time. He has been honored by the International Hockey Federation and holds an OGW for his services to the sport. Our guest tonight is Kenyan hockey great, Avtar Singh Sohal. It's a pleasure to speak to you, Mr. Sohal. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah. And, basically just looking at all the jackets that we have here from your times, you'll be telling us about that in a short while. But with every other guest, just tell us about your early life, when you were born, where you grew up, and how you got into hockey.
Well, what I came to know that my parents came to Kenya from Punjab, India, in 1930s. He was with the Royal Air Force. And I was there with them since 1938. I was born in 1938. So my parents, I think 1930, I'm not exactly sure what year it was, but it was in 1930s. And I grew up here. And that time the schooling was the first standard to 7th standard. You cannot join the school, primary school, when you are not of age of 7. So there was no nursery schools for us. So I joined primary school when I was 7 years old. So I studied in primary school, city primary school, for 7 years. Then I moved to Duke of Gloucester, which is Jamhuri High School now. During my school days, I was quite active. In fact, I was very keen hockey and cricket. And this game of hockey I got in was when I was about 10 years old, when the first Indian team, hockey team, came here, 1947-48. I was taken by my father to the game, and I was thrilled to see people like Dhyan Chand, Manna Singh with their hockey artwork. It was fantastic, and it inspired me to do some of those tricks at home. And that was the time when I actually started hockey in my primary school and primary days.
At that point in time, it was also, I think, the very first time that Kenya got to an Olympic Games, and they took a hockey team to the Melbourne Games of 1956. What were the conversations that you had with players from the Sikh Union Club who represented the country then? I think they had about, over a dozen players in the national team.
I think there are about 6 to 8 players. Went to 56 Olympics. When I came into the team, I was a shy person because they were quite matured and senior to me. But they treated me so well, and they encouraged me to learn the game so fast. I was very, very grateful to them. I think I had a good group of people, senior members, who eventually taught me good hockey. And one time, I remember that I was captain of the Kenya team, and these senior members were under me. Can you imagine? So what I would like to say, that they really gave me a lot of encouragement, motivation, and they taught me a lot of things, and that's how I became a good player for Sikh Union Club.
Let's talk about the 1960 Olympic Games in Tokyo, and these were your first of 6 Olympic Games that you went to, and you played against Germany Kenya won. Played against Italy, hammered them properly. I think he scored 2 goals in that. Drew with France. And you could tell us about these 3 games before I talk about the quarterfinal against Great Britain.
It was tough against Germany, but we managed to beat them. Then we beat Italy by 7-0, I think.
Yes.
And then I scored a goal against Italy, and I think I scored a goal against. I won't remember, but I was disappointed at one point when I scored and my goal was disallowed. That was against Great Britain. Yeah, that thing would have made a lot of difference, because if we won that game, we would have been in the semi-final. It was a tough going for first time. When I was very young that time, to play against top teams like Germany, Australia, other teams. But I got a lot of experience, and most important thing for me was my seniors, who were very, very good to me when I was playing, and especially Man Singh, the coach, who took a lot of interest in my coming up. And he coached me so well that at time came that I didn't feel any sort of fear to play the top international sides from outside Kenya.
Okay. Playing against Great Britain in 1960, that was playing against the colonial, what we would call the colonial masters then. What was it like at the quarterfinal stage?
It was right. So that was more of politically, if you see, it was UK, Britain against Britain, yeah, because because we were under British that time. But for me, it was Kenya. We are playing for Kenya, not for Britain that time. So it was for us to beat any team we play. So I think I was playing for Kenya, not for Britain that time, although we were under British flag. But it was a great honor for me to play that game and do well against Great Britain in that game.
You won the African Championship in Zambia at that time, but you went to the first International Hockey Federation World Cup, and Kenya were in that competition. They made it, to the semi-finals. They lost, and in the third place playoff, they lost by 2-1 to India and this was after extra time. Tell us about the 71 World Cup.
We won and we lost to India. Then we had to play in Germany. And Germany was very confident that they'll beat us. And in fact, when we were sharing the dining hall, they were sitting next to us, or next to our table, and they were sort of booing us that they are going to pump us tomorrow. So I took the boys after the dinner. We said, do or die, we have to beat them. The following days, we went all out and we beat them. Now when the score and the points came, then we had to play Germany again. So when we were having dinner that night, we requested our doctor, because they booed us sort of thing the previous night, cheering with their wines. So I asked my coach that we will have 1 glass of wine each. Yeah. So we also cheered, and we booed in such a way that we are going also to beat you tomorrow. So they were quiet, like nobody's business. And then now when we had the game with Germany, we beat them again, 2-0. We check the record, 2-0. And I feel so proud that these goals, 2 goals were scored by me. So that was a big thing for me in life, that I brought Kenya into the semi-final. So we played against semi-final, we played against Spain. We went in extra time. And just few seconds before extra time, we had a penalty corner against us. It's a mistake of one of our players, so they scored. So if we had to go to extra time, or after penalty strokes, after the extra time, we might have beaten them. So now we lost to them 1-0, so we had to play third and fourth position. So then we went and played India. Can you imagine, we were leading 1-0 all the way, and they scored at the last minute. Then we went to extra time, and my player, Parjinder, he had a ball, goalkeeper alone, 5 yards meter. He pushed the ball, it just slided off the post. So we missed. And then eventually, after our extra time, they scored. So we finished number 4.
How much hockey activity then did we have in the country at that point for us to, for Kenya to be a top 8 nation, not in Africa, but in the world?
Well, let me tell you, Mr. Wome, we never lost to anybody in Africa because we were top team. We trained very hard. We beat them because we had more games, international games, with other countries to improve our standard. We were strong in Africa, and that's how we qualified for the Olympics. Hockey was, let me tell you how hockey was played. There was a lot of hockey in schools, lot of hockey. When I came into 16 club, I was playing tournaments in school. There was a lot of hockey in school.
Well, you have been honored by the International Hockey Federation, and they gave you a Diploma of Merit. Tell us about this award that you received in 2000.
Yeah. Well, when I came into International Hockey Federation, the coaching committee in 87, I did some coaching courses for them, Olympic Solidarity, Olympic courses in Ghana, Seychelles, Uganda, Malawi. So I was helping International Hockey Federation on doing these courses. And then they picked me up also on judging technical side. So I was assistant technical delegate, judge for a different tournament in all over the world. So when you do some work for International Hockey Federation, they make sure that you awarded something. So I was with them for nearly 19 years, and I did 1994, if you see, World Cup as a judge. So then in another tournament, big tournaments, I was technical delegate, judge, and I think when you do some work for International Hockey Federation, they always honor you.
All right. The International Hockey Federation awarded you with the Diploma of Merit, and this was in the year 2000. Tell us the story about this award.
It was not me who pushed for these awards. I think I got them the way the editors and people from the different papers wrote about me. So I got HCS, but I thought whatever I get is good enough. But there was some people who thought that HCS is not good enough for me because I've done better than for receiving that order. So they pushed my case that I should get better than what I have. So recently I was given OGW.
As a closing shot, what is the message that you pass to those who want to get into the sport at this point, or who are at the learning stage of hockey in their life?
Well, first message is that we organize ourselves. The main body should organize. And it's very important that we start hockey in primary schools. the basic hockey must be started in primary school. Potential is there, players are there. We have to organize ourselves. We are not organized enough. The clubs are not organized. Kenya Hockey Union, Novi Hockey, all the associations, they have to work very, very hard. And I still have a feeling we can do very well in sports. We can do very well in sports. But the only answer is, if you don't work hard, there's nothing possible. So my advice to everybody is, you have to be very, very fit, yeah, to play these sports. And let's play, do hard work, and bring Kenya back where they were in hockey, international level.
Thank you very much, Mr. Avtar Singh Sohal, for giving us your time on the Living Legends. He has been awarded the International Hockey Federation's Diploma of Merit for distinguished services to the sport, and this was by the then president of the World Governing Body, Juan Angel Calzado. That was in 2000. He has been awarded an OGW by the Republic of Kenya. He has been to 6 Olympic Games and is still coaching young players today. It has been a pleasure speaking to Kenyan hockey great Avtar Singh Sohal on the Living Legends. My name is Daniel Wahome. Thank you for being with us.